Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Arkham Horror the card game, doing Dark Matter with Diana Stanley and Jenny Barnes. I've been enjoying both these decks quite a bit. So we're doing not Starfall. That's not right. Fragment of Carcosa. There is no time to waste. It is if it were muscle memory, you adorn the makeshift shrine by installing one of the quantum shards in the center. Several of the golden discs obtained from the Migo must be placed in front, aligned to form a LCG. I don't know how to pronounce that. With the components in order, you pronounce the unspeakable message from Earth. Let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through. The golden discs begin trembling, building momentum until they all turn upright and begin to roll around the shrine in one direction. The quantum artifact's hue shifts into a yellow glare before glowing an intense and dense red. The discs spin around and around the surface at different but consistent speeds until they finally slow down to a crawl and fall over simultaneously. Then, as suddenly as it began, the red shard erupts in a fog of nebulous gas, blinding you in its flurry. When your eyesight returns, all that remains are the golden disc resting at various locations across the floor. You instinctively recognize this as the schematic of the solar system. Upon closer examination, a single remnant of the purple shard remains between what you believe is Jupiter and Saturn's orbits. K2PS187 confirms that the depiction is accurate to the current star time and begins plotting a course towards the asteroid. On the way there, you think of the different worlds you have visited and many adventures you have experienced, both in this world and in your own. Throughout every interaction, every quest is the underlying sense of hope and optimism for the future. This future does not deserve to become another pawn to the Mad King, and you intend to stop that from happening. When you arrive, the asteroid does not resemble what you had expected. The egg-shaped asteroid is about 4 kilometer at its widest, and it looks awfully normal. The yellow color is closer to a murky brown than gold. It is littered with craters and cavities, battered by the harshness of space. Without delay, you suit on and descend onto the surface of Fragment, ready to face the royal princess of Carcosa. Alright, as for our stuff here, we're going to be starting over at the surface of Fragment, and then, as mentioned, there's going to be some double-sided stuff. Flipping locations, you may be instructed to flip a location. When this occurs, simply flip the location, keeping all tokens, attachments, investigators, enemies, and other cards on that same location. Then add clues on that location up to its clue value. Locations with cannot be flipped will simply ignore the instructions to flip it and will not prevent abilities from triggering. Cool. Surface of Fragment is over there. Okie dokie. Surface of Fragment. The crooked cliffs and dusty craters do not suggest anything artificial. By all accounts, it appears to be natural. Abandoned lander. You spot a single structure you recognize as a landing shuttle. This must be where the cultists set up their survey base camp when they first arrived. Or when they were first arrived. Shuffling encounter deck. There are 2 agendas. The shadows lengthen. Although your scanners have not detected any anomalies within Fragment, stepping down onto the surface still provokes a sense of dread like no other. You can't help but feel like something horrible will happen if you take too long dawdling around. There is no doom threshold. Keep adding doom to this agenda. I'm pretty sure the doom will carry over. And then there are 3 acts in Lost Carcosa. During the descent, the glimmer of a man-made structure could be seen in the distance, the remnants of the prior cultist expedition. They must have left traces as to how to enter the Grand Palace. If abandoned lander is revealed and there are no clues on it, advance. Alright. Tokens. Skull is -2 if you fail while you're in a cave location, take 1 damage. Cultist, -2 if you fail while at a Carcosa location, take 1 horror. Tablet, which we don't have any of, is -1. You must either choose one, reveal another token, or cross out 1 tally mark next to your memories. And then the Elder Thing is -2 if you're in a Carcosa location. Add 1 doom to the current agenda, or automatically fail the skill test. So yeah, the Elder Things are going to be pretty brutal, because it's going to either eat up time or eat up actions. I think in most cases you're probably better off just taking the failed action, because obviously losing an entire doom is the equivalent of losing everyone's full turn of actions for everybody. All right, let me put a break here. Okay, I did have to restart. It was pretty early on, but I failed to notice certain cards having surge on it. There's apparently a lot of cards with just surge in it, more than I expected, and it definitely changed some things. So I'll go ahead and try this again. Shuffle the encounter deck, shuffle this, shuffle that, and draw. The start we had was okay. It wasn't anything too crazy. We need one more card, sorry. All 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Space artillery. Yeah. Super cannon. I love super cannon. Alright, well, definitely not the best start. I at least had weapons my previous time. Alright, Jenny, deal to orange. Okay, pocket watch is good. Honed instinct is good. Easy mark is good, and we'll put these away. Okay. An interesting play. Alright, flip this over. Surface of Fragment, 4 shrouds, 0 clues, cannot be flipped. The rocky surface is soft to the touch, covered by the ever so light layer of golden dust. Every gravity-less step you take imprints your footprint into the ground. Okay. I need to reset my stats, by the way. There we go. Alright, let's start with Diana. I'm going to spend 2 to get out virtual access key. Then I'm going to gain a resource and then get out the space artillery. Super cannon! Alright. Super cannon is up and running. Meanwhile, Jenny. I'm going to move, since I already know what this location is. Alright. 4 shroud, 2 clues, cannot be flipped. While investigating this location, reduce the shroud by 1 for each tally mark next to your memories. You remember now that there was one survey team that never left the asteroid. The team that awakened at Tassilda is their shuttle. So I have, it's 5 memories and 9 memories, so this is going to be 0 shroud while investigating. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and investigate 3 to 0. And I got it, but unfortunately I didn't get high enough. I am going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out Golden Pocket Watch and get that up and running. Alright, enemy phase, upkeep. Alright, Wolf Mask is great, upkeep. Honed Instinct is great. Mythos, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the Gold Pocket Watch and skip it entirely and go to investigation phase. Alright. Okie dokie. Alright, so either way, I will end up advancing, so I'll be able to use Honed Instinct one way or the other. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and investigate. Actually, I gotta have someone else investigate. That'll be even better. Alright, first action, spend 1 to get out a Wolf Mask. Then we'll spend an action moving. And then we'll investigate 3 to 0. I pass. And then we'll advance, because there's no clues on this location anymore. Where all is lost. Hidden within a compartment of the abandoned shuttle is a 2-sided map of the asteroid created by the cultists during their initial exploration. On one side of the map, there are drawings of vast and tunneling caverns spreading throughout the interior of Fragment. When you flip it over to its other side, the map depicts something else instead, a grand palace with the hallways replacing tunnels and majestic chambers in the place of subterranean cavities. It appears that there are certain weaknesses in the veil of reality that allow the explorers to temporarily shift certain places into the dimension known as Carcosa. So at this point, you would actually get another benefit if you had watched the Heir to Carcosa. but we didn't, so we're not going to start with any additional clues. And we're also going to start with the Beast of Alderman out. So starting the map for a while does not register any memories. You take the map with you and begin to search for the caverns, the entrance to the realm of Carcosa. Put all the two-sided locations into play, cave side face up, and then put the Beast of Alderman enemy at the Cyclopean caverns. Okay. So the Beast of Alderman is just like the one from Path to Carcosa. Monster Elite, 3 combat, 5 evade, 7 health, massive, while assigning damage and horror from its attacks. You have to assign all of it, as much as possible, to a single card before moving to another one. Victory 1 has 2 damage and 1 horror. As for the location which you just revealed, we got Hidden Passage, which is 2 shroud, 1 clue. A crack in the slab, hidden within the vast sculptures of the asteroid. That passage leads to a dark and complex system of caverns underneath the surface. 2 shroud, 1 clue. Bottomless Pit, 4 shroud, 0 clues. After you enter Bottomless Pit, move to any other non-surface location, take 3 direct damage, and lose all remaining actions. I'm just thinking real quick. That is another way we can do this. Okay, now how do we get down there? And then over here we have Stalagmite Forest, 2 shroud, 2 clues. At the end of your turn, if you are at this location, take 1 damage. Stalagmites and Stalactite adjourn this massive and particularly perilous underground pocket. And then over here we have the Cyclopean Caverns, 4 shroud, 4 clues. Lightning Bolt. Investigators at this location cross out 2 tally marks next to their memories as a group. Choose any cave or Carcosa location and flip it to its other side. It has 4 clues on it. So let's see, Ice Cavity, 6 shroud, 2 clues. It gets -1 shroud for each connecting cave location. So right now it has 3. Abnormally cold air siphons throughout the cavity, chilling you to the core. Move to any other surface location, non-surface location. So with this, you can actually get all the way to here, which is the Impassable Ravine where the cultists disappeared. 4 shroud, 2 clues. You cannot enter Impossible Ravine from connecting locations. Lightning Bolt if there are no Carcosa locations in play, and each undefeated investigator is at this location. Read the set-aside Lost Expedition story card. Max once per game. Victory 1. So yeah, this is where it gets a little puzzly, because the Heir to Carcosa Act 2 here, you must find and confront Tassilda in this reality-defying asteroid before she is elevated by her father and spreads the madness of Carcosa throughout the colonies. Lightning Bolt if you are at a cave or Carcosa location, spend 2 clues as a group, flip your location and all connecting locations to their other side. Find the Royal Princess of Carcosa, you'll be instructed when to advance. Alright, 1 second. Okay, so we have advanced the act, so I will go ahead and do Honed Instinct immediately, which will get me 2 actions. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those actions to move down, and then I'll use the other action to go ahead and play a easy mark and get 2 resources and draw a card. Thank you. This will get removed. Alright, it's still Diana's turn, but that is it for her anyway. Then it goes to Jenny Barnes' turn. I will go ahead and take this opportunity to I will spend 3 to go ahead and get out lockpicks. I know, it's rare. And then I'm going to investigate with lockpicks. It doesn't use the supplies on this. 6 to 2. That's 5 to 2, so I do pass by at least 2, so I don't lose any supply. I get 1 clue. So there's the super risky route we can take. The super risky route would involve purposely falling into the pit to immediately get ourselves to an impassable ravine. And things would become much easier if we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I will take 3 damage as a result of it and get myself all the way over to here. And that'll be it for her. So I moved to the bottomless pit, took 3 damage, and lose all remaining actions. Enemy phase, enemy doesn't move, upkeep. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, I don't actually want to deal with this thing right now, so we're just going to go like that. Oh, also I do lose 1 resource. Okay. All right, Mythos. Good luck. Scene shifting, you must choose one. Place 1 doom on the current agenda. Move each enemy 1 location towards you. Each enemy at your location immediately attacks you. All right, I will move it 1 over this way. It does surge. Sophisticated Spires. 2 fight, 5 health, 5 evade. Obstacle. Nearest Carcosa location massive, does not attack during the enemy phase. And midnight sounded from the Misty Spires in the fog-wrapped city. So this thing is just kind of a hindrance because if you move through it or do anything around its location, it just hits you, but otherwise it doesn't attack you. Now the good news is it goes to the nearest Carcosa location. There are no Carcosa locations, so this will actually not spawn. And then over here, we get Madness of Carcosa, Surge Peril Hidden. Secretly add this to your hand. Reaction after an investigator is defeated, add this card to the victory display. I am not doing that. And then this also gets discarded. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good combo there. All right, investigation phase. Okay. Okay, we do have a solution for that Dark Young. We do have a solution for that Dark Young. We just need to deal with it later, though. All right. So here's the plan. I'm going to gain a resource, and I'll spend 1 resource to fast out a Spectral Shield. And then I'm going to move twice. To here. After you enter this, move to any non-surface location. This is a non-surface location. And take 3 damage and lose all remaining actions. I don't have any actions left to lose. I do soak 1 of that damage with the Spectral Shield. And get that going. All right. Not too shabby. Okay, Lightning Bolt. If there are no Carcosa locations in play, and each undefeated investigator is at this location, read the Set Aside Lost Expedition story card max once per game. So, no Carcosa locations. And just making sure, after you enter this, move to any other non-surface location. Take 3 direct damage and lose all remaining actions. So yeah, we are here. So with that, we get to look at the Lost Expedition card. If you don't want to do the 3 damage route, the way you would have to do it is you would have to spend 2 clues at Hidden Passage to flip these 2 locations. Essentially move down to Cyclopean Cavern. And then, I mean, the easiest, there's definitely some combinations you can do to make it work. But the easiest route, the next easiest route would be to go to Hidden Passage, flip that and Bottomless Pit for 2 clues. Get down to Cyclopean Cavern, use 2 of your memories to flip back to Hidden Passage up here. Then spend 2 clues to flip everything here, move down, and then flip everything again. And that'll get it to a situation where it's all caves again, and everyone will be down there. But this route is easier because, well, it's not easier. I'm nearly dead, but it's definitely a thing. Lost Expedition. If this is the first time you read this, eventually you come across bodies of several cultists, and the missing survey team, they have abandoned their helmets and died from sudden fatal decompression. When you scan their notes, your worst fears have been confirmed. Tasilda no longer exists in this dimension, but has elevated into godhood and now resides along with her father between the fabric of space-time and within the core of all stars. And yet there is no greater complication for the survey team's notes. And yet there's a greater complication for the survey team's notes also unmask the true nature of the King in Yellow. Our destruction gives it form, our violence gives it name, our screams give it a voice. It is no more of a deity than gravity is. No matter how many people worship and ascribe it a personality and intelligence, it is the thermodynamic concept of entropy itself that you face, the gradual and inevitable decline of any system into absolute chaos, and by all understanding of physics, there is no stopping it. Regardless if this is your first time you read this, advance the current act and set this card aside out of play. So we advance the act. The end. You will never know if Tessilda was real, but what you have learned from these cultists is that the arcane ritual that supposedly released her has also accelerated the increasing entropy of the universe. In fact, K2 PS187 announced that that with the new constants in play, the sun itself will implode in just a few more years and annihilate everything within a few light years. You search the cultists for any methods to reverse this action, but find no solutions to this impossible puzzle. The only hope left is to try to survive the supernova and save as many as you can. As you contemplate your next steps, the entire asteroid begins trembling in an inhuman roar, echoes throughout the halls and caverns behind you. Advance to Agenda 2A and Act 3A. Do not remove Doom from play. Move all Doom from Agenda 1 to Agenda 2. Spawn the set-aside cave dweller enemy at the abandoned ladder. So we will have some trouble in the future. Okay. Monster, cultist, humanoid, 4 fights, 6 evades suspiciously familiar, has 8 health, master retaliate hunter. When cave dweller's location is flipped, you can exhaust it. A perversion of what used to be human, hits for 3 damage, hits victory 1. Okay. The unspeakable truth. You won't be able to warn anyone of the impending doom if you don't get out of this spawn alive. You must escape this asteroid as soon as you can. Same stuff as before with the lightning bolts. And then if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. And then over here, shall dry. Advance to Agenda 2A. Okay, I believe you don't flip this, because I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to flip. Yeah. Alright. Shall dry and die. Your landing must have disturbed the pocket reality within the fragment. The entire asteroid is beginning to collapse, and soon you'll be trapped within. Get out of here while you still can. Surface of the fragment gains action and resign. 19 doom to advance. So we're 1 doom in. We're definitely speeding along at this point. Jenny, this was during Diana's turn. I'm going to go ahead and do Honed Instinct now, because we have to advance. It's a new round. I get multiple actions to play around with. And we'll see if we can make some stuff happen. So you cannot enter Impossible Ravine from connecting locations. So the key word here is enter. You can still leave it. So that is where we're going to do some wacky stuff here. Yeah, give me a moment. Okay. So so during Diana's turn, I have 2 actions with Honed Instinct. We have 3 clues right now. We definitely need to get Diana over here because she has the memories. So my next goal, I know the other side of this one is you need to have 6. You have to have all of these things be Carcosa, and then we can do something with that as well. I know that from past memories. But it's going to be... We're going to have to do that while doing everything else. That's the kicker. So let's go ahead and spend an action. Popping lockpicks. We'll go 6 to 4 here. Okay, we'll lose that. Cool, thank you. Then I will go ahead and do True Awakening and get a clue here. and heal the damage. So I'm not as borderline dead. Alright, and then that goes away. And then I'm going to, on her turn, I'll go ahead and do a True Awakening again to get this clue. And I'll draw 2 cards. I'll go ahead and spin 2 to get out Gias. I shall not commit cards during my turn. And then we're going to move up to here. All right. And then it goes to enemy phase. This guy has Hunter. Upkeep. We'll not get the extra resource. Mythos. Second Doom. Let's see if we can make stuff happen. This will surge and do things. I can cancel all of its effects with Ward of Protection. When an investigator would be defeated by horror, cancel that horror and add this to the victory display, blah, 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 blah. This also cancels the surge effect. This too. This will also cancel the surge effect. You know what? I'm okay with having this in my hand. Broken Reality, attach this to the cave or Carcosa location with the fewest clues without a copy of Broken Reality attached. After you flip the attached location, flip it back to its original side and discard this card. Spin 1 clue, discard this card. Okay. So it has to be fewest clues without a copy attached. Okay. For now, this is a hazard. That's a madness. I'm going to spin 2 and Dark Insight this. So I'll get shuffled back to the deck. And I'll get that and that. Alright. Then over here. Cave Collapse. Each investigator at a cave location must test Agility 3. Each investigator who fails takes 1 damage and loses 1 action. Alright, I'm currently 4 to 3. I will spin 2 to go 7 to 3. Good to go. And then for Diana, we can go 3 to 3. We'll go 5 to 3. I'm not at a Carcosa location, so I don't have to worry about the Doom. So I do pass. Good to go. Alright. Investigation phase. Alright, I need to start with Diana first. She's going to move up. And then as a lightning bolt, she's going to spend 2 of her memories, bringing her down to 7 to flip this location. Since I flipped that location, it's going to exhaust the Cave Dweller. And then as a group, I can spend a clue here and a clue here to flip all these locations. So I will. Okay, let's read all these locations. Palace Gates. 2 Shroud, 2 clues. You can't resign while Palace Gates is in play. The beautiful and decorated entrance to the palace of our royal family. Spiral Staircase, 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. When Spiral Staircase flips, move each investigator's Spiral Staircase to a connecting location, only a few more steps. Labyrinths of Tasselok, 2 Shroud, 2 Clues. At the end of your turn, if you are at this location, take 1 horror. Lightning Bolt, if this location is the only Carcosa location in play, read the set aside for you alone story card, max once per game. Grand Ballroom, 4 Shroud, 4 Clues. Lightning Bolt, if this location is the only Carcosa location in play, read the set aside Arrival of the King story card, max once per game. There's no one here, only statues and paintings to greet you. Okay. And over here, Gardens of Thought Hut, 3 Shroud, 2 Clues. It gets +1 Shroud for each connecting Carcosa location, so it's up to 6. Lightning Bolt, if this location is the only Carcosa location in play, read the set aside Delight story card, max once per game. And then over here, we have the Yellow Throne, where Telsilda reigns, 2 Shroud, 2 Clues. Lightning Bolt, if there are 6 Carcosa locations played and each undefeated investigator is at this location, read the set aside Lost Expedition story card, max once per game. Victory 1. Alright, so yeah. Yay for speedrunning. Okie dokie. I'm going to go ahead and move down. I will fast play a Sacred Oath. And then I'm going to draw a card. All right. Then Jenny is going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out Lola Santiago. And then I'm going to investigate this location with lockpicks. 10 to 4. We pass, we'll get 1 clue. And then I'm going to move down to here and trigger this effect, because there are 6 Carcosa locations in play. So we're good to go. So I get to read the set aside Lost Expedition story card, max once per game. Alright, we've already read it the first time, but regardless if this is your first time, you do advance the current act and set this card aside out of play. Back to reality. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, you do Resolution 3. Otherwise, if you are instructed to advance this by a card other than Act 3A, among the hieroglyphs of the caverns and paintings that adjourn the halls of the palace, you learn of an obscure ritual that will temporarily deny Talsilda's claim to the throne, which may provide enough time for humanity to escape. However, you still need to get out of here first. Record in your campaign log that you know the abjuration of the throne, and then you flip it back to Act 3A. So we pretty much got the important stuff now. You know the abjuration of the throne. So I believe you need all of this to do the special final stuff. Okay. That is all my actions. Now the question is can we make any of these other things happen? Not easily. Not without spending memory. It's easy if you spend memories, but I don't exactly want to spend memories on this. So it'll be what? You would have to flip all those. Yeah, it's like a puzzle if you want to try to make any of these happen. To be honest, I think I'm okay with just getting out of here. Sorry about that. Flies buzzing around, and unfortunately I was not able to catch it. Alright. So we moved, we did all that. Okay, it is end of the round, so let's go ahead and do that. Enemy phase, nothing. Upkeep. I'll exhaust you. Okay, dodge is good. Lose the extra resource. Green Medallion is not useful right now. Alright, Mythos, Third Doom. Good luck. Tattered Curtains. Spawn nearest Carcosa location. Does not attack during the enemy phase. After you flip Tattered Curtains location, move it one location towards you. The Scallop Tatters of the King in Yellow must hide util forever. 4 fight, 4 health, 2 evade. I am actually going to go ahead and spend one to do a Ward of Protection and kill this. Level 5. Yeah, if I draw any non-weakness encounter card, this is an encounter card. Cancel all that effect and discard it so it doesn't spawn. I'll use the virtual access key to soak the damage, and then I will do all this to draw a card. Alright, 1 second. Okay, was just verifying my resources. Alright, and then over here, this thing again. Move each enemy one location towards you. Each enemy at your location immediately attacks you. Alright, so this guy moves up, moves up, moves up. And then it surges. Chosen by him. Attach chosen by him to an item, spell, or ally asset you control that can leave play. At the end of the turn, take 2 direct damage and shuffle the attached asset back into your deck. Remove remove attached asset from the game. Okay, we'll put it on this. Okay, investigation phase. Okay, so first things first, we're going to start with Diana. I'm going to spend 2 actions to activate the Space Artillery. This will do 3 damage and kill this sacrifice. Alright, so the location I'm picking is the Spiral Staircase. It'll hit the Sacrificial Beast for 3, and hit these 2 guys for 3 as well. Like so. Alright. And then I have 1 action remaining, which unfortunately I can't do much with. I'm going to go ahead and fast out a second Sacred Oath. And gain a resource, because I don't have anything else I can really do right now. Actually, you know what? Don't even fast out the Sacred Oath. We'll just gain a resource. That'll get us that ready for next round. We will have to discard something, but that's completely okay. Alright, as for Jenny... don't have anything too much to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, at the end of your turn, okay. I'll go ahead and investigate with the lockpicks, just because I can. 10 to 2. I will automatically fail the test. I'll then discard, shuffle back into your deck? No, remove attached asset from the game. So I'll remove it from the game to get rid of this. Okay. And then last action, I'm going to draw a card. Oh my god, yes, we need that. Alright. Enemy phase. Cave Dweller will move up. Upkeep. Backpack is something we need right now. Let's discard the Overpower. Okay, my last Honed Instinct. And I'm getting the additional resources again, which is good. 4th Doom. Yellow Mist. Aloof Hunter. Yellow Mist location gains the Carcosa trait. Victory 1. Sounding throughout the mist is a distant familiar melody. Casilda's song. Aloof Hunter. 4 fight, 1 evade, 6 health. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, and then your card. Song for Your Soul. Okay, this is the event one. Okie dokie. I can make that work. Alright, investigation phase. I want to start with Diana. I'll spend 4 to get out Beat Cop. And then I'm going to spend 2 actions to fire the cannon. It's going to do 3 damage to this guy, 3 damage to this guy, 3 damage to this guy. And then that'll be it for her. Alright, meanwhile, Jenny is going to investigate this location 10 to 2. We succeed by 8. We get 1 clue. And since I succeeded by 8, I'll play this Honed Instinct for 2 extra actions. I'll use one of those actions to spend 2 to get out the red clock. And then I'll go ahead and investigate again. Ten to 2. Get another clue. Then I'm going to move to over here. So it has to be the only Carcosa location. Okay, so then I'm going to move 1 more time to get to here. And then I'll spend 2 clues. To flip all these locations. Also, this should have 2 clues on it. So we'll do that again. Clues carry over. Alright, this will flip as well. So when this flips, I do get to move to a connecting location, so I will be doing that in a second. I'll probably move back to here. And then these will flip. This will, of course, flip. Since that location did flip, the cave dweller will exhaust. And then this will flip to this. All right. So that got that taken care of. Yeah, the biggest, I think you have to, to try to make this work, it's going to be a challenge. All right, and then enemy phase, they're not going to do anything. Upkeep. And then upkeep. All right, I do need to trigger Song of Your Soul. I will take 1 horror on you and a horror on you. Actually, I'll discard the intel report. Yeah, I'm fine with discarding the intel report at this point. Okay. Mythos phase. 5th Doom. Haster's Domain. Put Haster's Domain into play next to the agenda deck, and after you flip any number of locations, take 1 horror. Test Willpower 3 or Agility 3. If you succeed, discard Haster's Domain. Alright. Don't have any way of stopping that, so it's just going to come on out. And then over here, this thing again. Either I put a doom on the current agenda or make everyone move towards me and hit me. I will have to put the doom down this time. Nothing I can do about that. Also, this should have been discarded. Unstable Dimension. Put this card into your threat area. At the end of your turn, take 2 damage and flip your current location to its other side. Then discard this card. Spend 2 resources. Discard this card. Okay, this actually can be kind of useful. For what it's worth. All right. If I'm willing to spend 2 more memories, I can definitely flip one of these locations to their other thing. Yeah, this is where it gets just really complicated. If we... These will become Carcosa. Yeah, it's like a big flip puzzle. It's just ridiculous. All right, investigation phase. Let's start with Diana. I will spend 1 to get out of backpack, because good gosh, do we need it. So I got a emergency cache, but not the one I was looking for. All right, survival knife. Emergency cache. And the other backpack. Okay, next action, I am going to go ahead and play this emergency cache to get 3 resources. And then I'll spend those 2 resources to get out a survival knife. So yeah, that should be all my actions. It was backpack, emergency cache, then survival knife. Okay. Now it goes to Jenny. We'll place this and give me a moment as I try to puzzle out how I'm going to make things work. Okay. Besides the fly that's still flying around and being distracting, since I already know what both sides are for all the locations, I did make a copy and set up here. So the idea here is, right now the setup is like this. We cannot do the lightning bolt action with the bottomless pit, because if we do, it will change the hidden passage. And there's not anything we can do about that. So, messing around, I can make it so the center, the grand ballroom, is the only one face up. But it requires 6 clues. And it requires Jenny to at least reach this side where she's at, Stalagmite Forest, and then get to the center again. And if she can do all of that, then the unstable dimension won't matter. And then this is going off the fact that you spend it as a group, but it doesn't say you have to be at the same location to spend as a group. It would specifically say that if that was the case. So right now we have 4 clues, so we have to somehow get 2 more clues somehow, which is easier said than done. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and well, actually, no, this won't work. Okay, never mind. It will not work right now because yellow mist is on the board. So as long as yellow mist is on the board, it won't work, which is a little unfortunate. So I guess I'll just spend this round just getting stuff put together. I could try to help out deal with Beast of Alderman. Okay, in that case, with that in mind, let's just, I'm going to spend 2 resources to get rid of this so I don't get hurt. Then I'm going to investigate 9 to 4 here. I succeed, I get a clue. And then I'm going to investigate again, go 5 to 4 here. Yep, 5 to 4. We succeed, we get a clue. Alright, so we got 6 clues. Alright, that is everybody. Goes to enemy phase. Cave Dweller's going to move down and attack Diana. Diana is going to go ahead and do Survival Knife here. So this will be 6 to 4. We'll go... I'll go 8 to 4. Again, I will just, since this is a Carcosa location, I will take the Doom. This will do 2 damage and kill this guy. So that's 1 less headache. But yeah, we're running out of time, unfortunately. I mean, the good news is we can get out pretty easily. Also, we still need to deal with this thing because it's going to hurt us. So that is something we also need to deal with. Alright, upkeep. Okay, we can work with the Twilight Blade. Upkeep. And Mythos. 8 out of 19. Cave Collapse. This will only be Jenny. So I'm 5 to 3. That is a pass. Broken Reality. Attached to the cave or Carcosa location with the fewest clues without a broken... Okay. So it has to go to this location, which isn't the end of the world. So we'll have to take that into account now. Because if I flip it now, it'll flip all these, flip all those, flip this back to this. Yeah, I'll give us something to play around with. All right, that is it for that. Goes to investigation phase. I will spend 1 to get out the next backpack. Search top 12. We will take this emergency cache, this survival knife, and that'll be it. Okay. Next, I'm going to engage the Yellow Mist and gain an offering. And then I'm going to swing at this thing. 6 to 3. Or say 6 to 4. Succeed, does 1 damage. Alright. And then it goes to Jenny. So I get to place this and get some free movement. Give me a moment to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so here's the plan. We're not gonna place. We're gonna take. So I'll get us 5 resources, and now we have +4 to our first skill check. Okay. Then we'll spend 2 clues to do some flipping at this location. And this is going to flip back as a broken reality. This will flip. It should be like that. And then this will get this. All right. Then Diana will spend 2 clues. to flip this location, this location, this location, and this location. That leaves us with 2 clues remaining. And then for my first action, I'm going to move to here. And then I'm going to fight this thing using red clock, so I'll be 8-3. We succeed, does 1 damage, finishing it off. And then my last action, I'm going to go ahead and spin 1 to get out Lone Wolf. And then I will spend 2 clues to flip all my locations here. So I'll flip this, 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 and this one. We can't do the lightning bolt yet because of the monster, that monster changing that location to a Carcosa location. Alright. And then that is it for Jenny. Goes to enemy phase. We're going to get attacked. We'll use the survival knife. This will put us at 6-4. Yeah, 6-4. We succeed, does 2 damage, and kills this. Okay. Enemy phase. Okay. There's a lightning bolt window at this point. So I'll go ahead and activate this location. If this location is the only Carcosa location in play, read the set aside Arrival of the King story card, max once per game. Arrival of the King. Standing and sitting in small groups around the ballrooms are statues of the inhabitants of the palace. They are all gaily dressed for a masquerade, though they have all unmasked. On closer inspection, you realize the statues are speaking in low, stunned tones, as if time here has slowed almost to a standstill. They share amongst each other the faintest rumors about the royal family of Carcosa. It is an echo of the moment the city of Yatil, wherein the palace lay, became Carcosa, and the royal family of the palace learned that they were inevitably doomed. They stand around now, morose and uncertain. The people of the palace were truly lost in both mind and soul. Each investigator may cross out any amount of tally marks next to their memories. For every 4 tally marks crossed out, you may cross out 1 tally mark under impending doom. Add this to the victory display. So we can add this to the victory display. That's the good news. We'll spend 3 and 1, putting us both at 4, and we'll get rid of 1 impending doom. So we're down to 3. Oh, sorry, I should have done a... I needed to get rid of this thing first. So let me rewind and take care of that. Instead of doing the Lone Wolf, I will spin 2 and just do that check. Actually, sorry, I do need to resolve that. I forgot about it. What's the easiest way to do this? I think I'll take a horror. Yeah, so it doesn't matter which order I do this in. So I can do Jenny's first, do the flip, take a horror, move over, fight the beast, and then I can spin 2 and do the check to get rid of this instead of the Lone Wolf. And then I can do the rest of the flips safely. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is a messy, puzzly one. All right, so the good news is we've taken care of this one. Now there's still the other side of Stalagmite Forest and the Ice Cavity. and we have essentially 11 rounds to take care of that and get out of here, which is definitely doable. As long as Hidden Passage does not get flipped, we'll be okay. So upkeep phase. I should have probably fast out something, didn't I? Yeah, at the end of her turn, she could have fast something out. We'll fast out a Sacred Oath. Alright. Upkeep. Another deny. Upkeep. Backstab. Mythos. 9th Doom out of a 19. Tattered Curtains. Nearest Carcosa location, which unfortunately is going to be over there. And there's nothing I can do about it. So it's going to spawn here. Okie dokie. And then for you, I have to put this on something. Item, spell, or ally asset you control that can leave play. We will put this on... We can put it on Lola. Nothing else I can do about it. Investigation phase. Alright, so we have no clues. So, let me see if I can do some other shenanigans, so give me a moment. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's no way for me to actually get the other sides without either spending, what do you call it? Spending memories or getting some of those things that can make things auto-flip. So, which is fine for now. Let's go ahead and just move because I don't have any clues to begin with. So we'll go to here. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Tattered Curtains and then stab said curtains 6 to 4. Do a damage. And then I'm going to Lightning Bolt, do another damage with B-Cop. And that'll be it on that front. And yeah, good times. So I'll go to Jenny next. So I'm on my 5 to 4 right now. I'll place one of these and get my free move action and move to here. I will then spend 1 to get out Lone Wolf. I will investigate twice, 5 to 2. Get 2 clues. I'll fast out a ace in the hole. And then I will draw a card. Then I will easy mark, gain 2 resources and draw a card. And then last action, I will go ahead and remove Lola from the game. Alright, enemy phase, I'm going to get attacked by the Tattered Curtains. Oh, actually it doesn't attack during the enemy phase. Never mind. Oh, I did get engaged though, so I do get a token. Upkeep. Let's get rid of a delay of the inevitable. Self-centered. Alright, Mythos, we're 10 out of 19. Another one of these. Actually, real quick, what is this? A terror? I'm going to go ahead and use this Sacred Oath to cancel that so I don't have to deal with it. And then use my ability to gain a resource and draw a card. Thank you. That puts us back up to 5. Alright, and then over here we get the Tassilda Matter stuff, which is going to surge. Test willpower, intelligence, irresistible truths. Test intelligence 3. If you're at a Carcosa location, you must commit all eligible skill cards to this test. If you fail, take 2 horror. It speaks to you. I am 5 to 3. Oh, I do take 1 damage at the end of this turn, which I didn't think about. So I'll take that damage. All right. I passed, no worries. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about the stalagmite forest nonsense. Okay, investigation phase. I'm going to stab this thing. I succeed, do a damage. I'll use Beak Cop to finish it off. I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out the Twilight Blade. And then I'm going to grab this emergency cache and play it. And I'll put 3 supplies on this and gain 1 resource. Alright. As for Jenny, I'm going to gain a resource because of Lone Wolf. I'll spend 2 actions to get rid of Self-Centered. And then I'm going to move to the center. Alright. Anything fast I can play? Nope, not really. Actually, I could fast out this Sacred Oath again. Alright, upkeep. Terrible weakness. I'll soak a horror, take a horror, and then deny existence, heal a horror, and I'll take care of Terrible Secret. Alright, and then over here. Oh, did I forget to place? I did. I had 2 more actions I could have used, so... Oh, I was 4-3 on that test, by the way. I still passed because it was only a -1. For the 2... oops. Don't know what happened there. For the 2 actions, I'm just going to draw cards. Actually, I'll draw a card and play Dr. Milan. Yeah, that should have been last round. Sorry. Alright, give me a second. Okay, so I would not have drawn the Dr. Malone except on the second action. Or I would have drawn it during my upkeep, rather. So we'll just do that. Sorry about that. Big mess. Alright, Mythos. I think I'm just going to head out of this. 11 out of 19. Hex, put Song of the Threat area if it... and it'll do some nonsense to me. Got it. This is a hex, isn't it? Okay, I can't do anything about hexes yet. Not a problem. I do have a lot of events. I'm going to go ahead and just... Hold on a second. Okay, never mind. I know what's going on. Okay. So yeah, I'll spend a resource to do a water protection. I'll take the horror on Beak Cop. And I'll put this in the basement. Okay. As for you, Broken Reality. Okay, so this is the thing that can make things happen. It has to go into a location with the fewest clues, so it's going to be over here. Alright, okay, with that actually changes things, so I might be able to do something, so give me 1 moment. Okay, it is doable. We'll need to do, I need 2 more clues, and we'll have to spend 2 memories. So I'll start with Jenny. Actually, no, I will start with Diana. Diana's going to move once over to here. She'll spend 2 of Jenny's clues, which will flip this location. This will get expended, flip that back over. flip that over. Flip that over. And flip that over. So if we wanted to, we could spend 2 memories to flip this back over, and then I can literally go either for Stalagmite Forest or Ice Cavity. But that would leave me with, what, 2 memories left? I don't know if that's a route we want to go. So instead of doing any of that, we won't do the flip. So we'll take back the clues. I think what we're going to end up doing is just getting the hell out of here. And then, of course, these... should be like this. All right. So we will still spin the 2 clues, actually. That still needs to happen. So this will still do its thing. We're just going to do it here, though. And then this will have 2 clues on it. This will flip. This will flip. This will flip. This will flip. And we're just going to get out of here. So I'll spend 3 actions to go 1, 2, 3 to the surface. And then go to Jenny Barnes, we'll get 1 resource. We'll take all this. And then 1, 2, 3, get to here. We'll do upkeep. Because honestly, this puzzle's giving me a headache. And I just don't want to stick around here any longer. Mythos. Let's do the thing. Oh, now it gives me another one. It could be any location at this point. We'll put it down here. And another one of these. Really? Back to back? Apparently. Alright. Yeah, I probably made some mistakes, but honestly, this thing's just a headache, and it's definitely not something I want to try to retry. We'll go ahead and go take this test. We're 4 to 3. I'll spend 2 to go 7 to 3. This is not a Carcosa location, so it doesn't do anything. And investigation will both resign. Okay. Didn't get very much victory, but to be honest, I think we're okay on that front. The victory actually was not too bad. Should have 4. Yeah, 4 victories, right? All right, we go ahead and advance. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, you hang on tight as the shuttle lifts off the asteroid moments before it crumbles into itself, leaving only a puff of yellow dust in its wake. Resolution 3. When you finally arrive, when you finally regroup back at the Tatterdemalion, all you can think of is all the time you could have saved if only you remember the real threat you face. The sun only has a few years left to shine, and most of humanity is oblivious to its imminent demise. In the face of this impending doom, you know what you must do: save as many as you can before the inevitable. Get victory X, which is going to be 4 and 7. All right, and then with that, we will be diving into Starfall, the last scenario of this. So good times had by all. So I don't know how important the memories are at this point. We're down to 4 on both characters, but we did reduce impending doom down to 3, so hopefully that helps a little. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Well, actually, no, I can't call it here. I got to spend XP, so let me be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my remaining emergency cache to only level 2, which will cost me 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace one of my overpowers with I've Had Worse, which is you can fast play whenever you're dealt damage and horror, and you cancel up to 2 of it, and then gain that many resources. I feel that'll be pretty useful. That'll cost 3 because of Down the Rabbit Hole, so that's a total of 4 XP. So there you go. This is going to be our end game. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I should have, what, should be 40 cards, because there is a Dark Insight in here. There we go. Alright, and then that was 4 XP, so they'll take you down to 0. And then 9 XP, I'm going to spend 8 of it to go ahead and upgrade my remaining lockpicks to or switch my remaining lockpicks to another Lola Santiago, and then get another day, another $1 for 8 in total. So now she'll start with 9 resources and have 1 XP remaining. Alright, that was a bit of a mess. I apologize. It just really gave quite the headache. So, Starfall isn't anywhere as bad. In fact, it's a really fun final scenario. There's lots to do. And then, of course, we have the means to hopefully do the final thing you can do there. And maybe we'll be able to shoot a god with a space cannon. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dealer. This is Arkham Horror the Card Game, doing Dark Matter custom campaign with Diana Stanley and Jenny Barnes. I'll see you guys in a bit.